between you and Randy Savage. Tell us in your own words what exactly happened.
Well, it starts along. You said that Angelo was coming. We was competing in the. No, he came into Tennessee. We was running Tennessee and Kentucky and Mississippi and all the towns that he came in and opened up his wrestling company with his son Lenny Popo and Randy Savage and himself and a few other guys. Rip Rogers was one of them, and he had a hell of a crew too. So
Ronnie Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin, all good guys. You know, they had to make a living too. Everybody couldn't have worked in Memphis for Jarrett, but anyway. So he was trying to run the same towns. Randy'd run around, go into fights and all kinds of things here. So somebody gave me a pair of tights that had Macho Man on the back of them. So I thought, well, hell, this is nice. So I wore them one Monday night on television somewhere. So anyway, my phone rings. This is the days before cell phones. You had to answer it at home. You know how that goes, right? So anyway, the phone rings. I pick it up. Hey, you. I said, what the hell? She says, Randy Savage here. I said, okay, what can I do for you? He said, Lawler's the king, handsome Jimmy, and you're the superstar, and I'm the Macho Man, and you have a pair of tights that says Macho Man on the back of them. I said, well, Randy, get a pair that says superstar. I don't give a damn. Somebody gave them to me, and I'm going to wear them. Well, it's not right. So that was the first little instance I had with him. So then we're coming back from Louisville one night, and we stop in Bowling Green to get gas, and I'll be damned if Randy Savage ain't walking over the parking lot. So he's walking back, and I'm pumping gas. So as he's walking past my car, he never really saw me. So I said, hey, Randy, how you doing? So he turned around, he said, I have to use this word because this is what he said. He said, you really don't give a fuck. I said, you're right. I really don't. If you dropped dead right in the spot right now, I wouldn't care. Wouldn't even call the ambulance. So he just mumbled something else and walked and got in his car and drove off. So that was that little segment. So the next time I saw him, I came out of the gym working out in Goodlettsville. Thunderbolt Patterson came walking towards me, and I'd known Thunderbolt in Australia. So he just walked up and he said, hey, Bill, how you doing? So we were standing talking. I was leaning against my car. So 5 minutes into the conversation, something hits me in the side of the head. Bam! I said, wow, what the hell? So anyway, Randy just kept running past, I guess, and he just sucker punched me on the way by. So I thought, you son of a bitch, Randy Savage. So me and him are kind of tie up with one another and throw a couple of silly punches at one another, and that stops it. So by the time we get, Angelo shows up, Pez Watley shows up, Thunderbolt's already there, and they're telling us, come on, boys, don't fight. But they ain't stopping both of us. They're only hanging on to me. So Randy's half-ass throwing punches and doing whatever. So anyway, then they let go and stop us, quit fighting. So we stopped fighting. So I thought to myself, if I get to the back of this car, I will restore order. So the old Cadillac didn't have the buttons in them days. You had to put the key in the lock and turn the lock to open it. So I thought, oh, God. So anyway, I walked back to the back of the car, and I get the key in, and I turn the thing, and the hood jumps up, and I said, oh, I hope this briefcase ain't locked. But it wasn't. So anyway, I flicked the buttons and opened up the briefcase, and lo and behold, there is a silver Smith & Wesson sitting inside that briefcase. I wonder how it got there. But anyway, I wonder. So Angela's standing to the right of me, and Angela, Savage has walked all the way around the car, and he said, you have a gun in this car. I said, you're damn right I do. So by the time I get to the back of the car, he's went to the front and looks up on the dashboard. So I don't know if he figured I had it laying on the dashboard, but whatever, that was the best thing that happened for me, because he went to the front, I went to the back, got the pistol out. Randy jumps on my back, and Angelo grabs my right hand, and the pistol was in my right hand. So when the pistol come up out of the briefcase in the trunk, it was pointing right at Angelo's head. I said, Angelo, get your silly son off my back, or I will kill you right here. And Randy went, fight's over, son of a bitch, run off up to the hill, his van, and I didn't know the van was parked up there with the rest of his crew in it. It was sitting up on the hill up from the gym, and the rest of the boys were in it. So anyway, Papo, Pez was real nice. He said, Bill, I'll see you. I have nothing to do with this. I just work for him. I said, I know. So Pez left, Thunderbolt left, and Papo and them got in the van, drove off. So I said, well, okay, that was this. So I drive home. Time I get home, he has the sheriff come up with a warrant for my arrest with a deadly weapon. I thought, well, this is a bitch. So I thought, I wasn't going to do nothing. I mean, you know, they I guess, Randy had done a lot of fights. He got in a fight in the Waffle House. The cops came and they turned the dog loose on him. The dog bit him, all kinds of shit. I mean, Randy's a goof. So anyway, he'd had 3 or 4 fights that had made the paper. So I called Jarrett, and I said, hey, man, the Buffaloes have me a warrant for my arrest over this fight. He said, well, you better get one for Randy. So we go get one. Then we go to court. Me and the lawyer show up in court for Jarrett's lawyer and me and Randy and his whole crew's there. So Angelo comes up to me and he says, hey, we need to go Broadway with this. I said, I ain't going Broadway with nothing. He's losing. He's going to lose it here because this is my town, not his. So he says, no, we got to go Broadway. So lawyer says to me, call Jerry Jarrett. They want to, so we don't have to really go in front of the judge or have the trial. So I said, oh. Anyway, I called Jarrett. I said, hey, man, they want to go Broadway with this. They want me to drop the charges. They drop the charges, do whatever. So he said, well, that would probably be the best because he's had a lot of bad publicity for wrestling and we don't need to be tied up with their bullshit. I said, well, you're right about that part, I guess. So the lawyers approached the bench, I guess, and both threw it out, and that was the end of that. So then,
wow.
lo and behold now, so that's that story. So the believers of Randy Savage are the ones that want to believe Randy took the pistol from me and pistol whipped me with it and did all that bullshit. That never happened, folks. He ran away. He was the most paranoid man I'd ever been around in my life. So anyway, after we're walking out of court, he's outside of the court, so I walk up to Randy and I say, I've had your best shot, Pally, but you've never had mine. So just think about that. So off we go. I'll be a son of a gun. Lawler books him to come work in Memphis. Because after all the bullshit, Lawler books him to come work in Memphis. So he's walking down, you know, you've been in Memphis, you know, when you walk up that hallway from the big babyface room up to where Lawler used to change in that hallway there. And
Sure.
His room his room was off to the right. We're just halfway down that hallway. And I'll be damned, Randy's walking up the other, and I have Jamie with me. And Jamie just a little bitty fella. So he says, that's Randy Savage. I said, yeah, it is. He said, didn't you ever fight with him? I said, well, yeah, you could call it that. So he goes up to Savage and says, you're the guy that sucker punched my dad. And Randy goes, hey.
Sounds just like Jamie, don't it?
Yeah, that's true story. I'm telling you how it happened. So Randy says, hey, be quiet, kid, be quiet. Heavy drugs. That was back then. This is now, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of, I guess you would say, shook hands standing in the middle of the hallway there, and that was about it. I left and went somewhere. I never stayed around when he was there. I was going anyway. I guess that's why they brought him in, because I was leaving. So he came in and worked with Lawler and did whatever. So that was about the last time I saw him. Because,
I'll be darned. That's a great story, Bill.
Oh, well, it gets better. Listen to the end of this fucking story now. This is the way how it goes now. So we all end up in WCW making pretty good money. Greg Gagne and Michael Graham working in an office. Hulk Hogan comes in. Eric Bischoff fires him. So he wants Savage. So they don't have enough money in the budget to pay Savage $500,000 or $450,000 a year. So they fire me, Mike Graham, and Greg Gagne. So they can hire Randy. So I thought, well, ain't this a bitch? This is the goofiest guy in the wrestling business. He's completely nuts. And they're firing 3 guys that works in the office to hire him. So he got over me on that thing. So I guess at the end of it, you could say, oh, Randy won the fight. So that was about the last time I saw him. But I will tell you this, and I really believe this. I hope when he was driving that van and he figured he was having a heart attack, that he looked up from that steering wheel and he looked over at his wife and said, I'm having a heart attack, and that little son of a bitch is still living. Bang, and hit the tree, and that was the end of the son of a bitch. End of story.
Damn. Well, that's about as hard-hitting as you can get.
Well, that's it. I never got the whacking with my best shot, so the tree did it. Now, anybody that likes Randy Savage can make whatever they want of that, but that is everything I've told you is the gospel truth, nothing but the truth.